A child can face multiple forms of distress. Children today experience a lot of traumas: wars, natural disasters, parents' divorce, diseases, loss, emigration, bullying, violence, change of school. All of these can become traumatic events. We often do not notice how we traumatize children. However, the consequences of trauma in childhood have an extremely negative impact on development and affect their entire life. While there are effective methods of treating adult trauma, their use for children is very limited. During the Second Lebanon War in 2006, that was the main problem for a team of Israeli psychologists led by Dr. Shai Hengal and late Professor Avi Sadi. While working with a group of 120 children traumatized by the war, they came up with an idea to use a toy as an intermediary between the psychologist and the child. That is how the prototype of Hibuki emerged, a dog with sad eyes and long legs to hug a child. The word Hibuki in Hebrew means hug. In 2007, the Journal of Pediatrics named the Hibuki program the most effective way to rehabilitate childhood trauma during mass disasters. Inspired by the results of a short-term intervention, a member of the Israeli team, psychologist Daphna Sharon Maximov, developed the idea and created a comprehensive, evidence-based psychotherapeutic technique called Hibuki Therapy. The initial prototype of the toy saw dozens of changes. They turned Hibuki into a multifunctional patented tool for psychotherapeutic work with children. Elongated paws with Velcro help a child stay with the toy while going about their day. Large ears allow to hide or wipe tears away. Facial expression evokes empathy. Size, weight, cute tummy pouch, and dozens of other elements play an essential part. There are no small details when it comes to helping a traumatized child. For example, Hibuki has specially selected paws' thickness and roughness. Children love squeezing them. It resembles an umbilical cord and subconsciously brings them back to the safest place, the mother's womb. One must comply with the rules to operate Hibuki effectively and safely. Therefore, it is neither bought nor sold. Each child receives a Hibuki only through interaction with their Hibuki specialist. That allows avoiding situations when adults just want to give a Hibuki, hoping the toy will miraculously solve all the child's problems. However, this approach can only help to a limited extent and in the short term. To ensure long-term and complete healing of children from trauma, 10 to 15 meetings are required. The child and their parents meet with a trained Hibuki specialist who has received a certificate that gives them the right to use Hibuki while practicing. Hibuki therapy is based on 3 psychoanalytic theories: object relations theory, theory of caring, and attachment theory. Hibuki becomes a friend to the child, and the child becomes a guardian for Hibuki. The child cares about Hibuki and, as a result, takes a proactive stance. When talking about Hibuki, the child talks about themselves and their feelings. This technique allows one to work on trauma comprehensively and at different levels. During the Hibuki therapy, the specialist gradually introduces the child to Hibuki, establishes contact with the child, diagnoses their condition, uses different types of interventions, builds interaction between the child and the toy, works with parents. Daphna Sharon Maximov and her team have worked through all these stages in practice and taught the technique to thousands of psychologists and teachers worldwide. At the same time, Hibuki therapy is a very flexible method. Its protocol is tailored to the needs of each child. It successfully integrates tools from other psychotherapeutic areas. Hibuki has already helped hundreds of thousands of children in a variety of situations. In 2011, Hibuki helped children in Japan deal with the consequences of the tsunami. In 2012, in the USA, Hibuki cared for victims of Hurricane Sandy. Starting in February 2022, tens of thousands of children in Ukraine received their Hibuki. In 2023, Hibuki visited children after earthquakes in Turkey and Morocco. Since the tragedy of October 7, 2023, Hibuki has been helping thousands of affected children in Israel due to the war with Hamas. Based on the results of using Hibuki Therapy, 10 research papers have been published proving the effectiveness of this method. Here are the data from one of the experimental groups. Aggression has decreased after Hibuki Therapy in 80% of cases, in the control group without therapy in 36% of cases. Anxiety after Hibuki Therapy decreased in 75% of cases, and in the control group, it increased in 95% of cases. Somatic manifestations disappeared after Hibuki Therapy in 88% of cases. In the control group, it's 32% of cases. Today, we can say with confidence that Hibuki Therapy has a long-term, lasting effect when working with childhood trauma. Don't leave a child alone with trauma. Help them feel better by getting trained in the Hibuki Therapy method.